Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna. Flagship station for MTSU Sports. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
This is Conversations with Mike Sparks.
Are you concerned with the state of America, your state, your community? Then you're in the right place. State Representative Mike Sparks. He and guests are here to talk about local politics, history, faith, and freedom.
All right, Conversation Mike Sparks. I'm your host, Mike Sparks. Sorry to get started a little late. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out, condolences to the late Elizabeth Liz McPhee, Dr. McPhee's wife, President of MTSU, First Lady of MTSU, that passed away January the 8th. She was 72, 40-year educator, and worked alongside Dr. McPhee for 45 years, and her services will be at Bel Air Baptist Church. I believe it's Tuesday. Visitation, I believe, is Tuesday 3 to 7, Bel Air Baptist Church. And sorry, Dr. McPhee, for your loss. If you're listening, Miss McPhee always treated me good. We sat together at graduations many times, and she was always real sweet to me. And just loss is something we all have to go through, and it's just you hate to see it, and we see more of it. But our guest tonight, Roger, thank you for lining this up with. I think your favorite Councilman Jerry Short.
That's my favorite, buddy.
Because y'all are related, aren't you?
No, but we go back. How long do I think, Jerry? How long I think we go? 70 years, 8 months, and 13 days.
That's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the hospital together, weren't we, Roger?
Yeah.
Y'all were in the little infant thing, little baby. What do they call that when the babies are in there?
I don't know.
What do they call them things? When the babies
The
are
Proud
like,
Daddy
the
section
nursery.
or something?
What's
The
it called?
nursery.
The nursery. Y'all were nursery together.
They come out with that word about 400 years ago, Mike, I believe. Yeah.
Anyways,
For those that don't know, Roger's 2 days older than
2
me.
days old.
And yet he lets me know on my birthday. He calls me old man. That was the last one. Hey, old man.
So y'all going to first grade and all that together?
We were in school together all the way up. Yeah.
Wow.
Started at Jefferson.
Well, I would ask if you got any dirt on him, but we all know his dirt. What about you? Do you have Roger? You got any dirt on Jerry?
Well, yeah. He was actually on the. He was actually.
Go commercial.
No, he
break.
was actually on the 1972 Smyrna High School team that wanted to beat Murfreesboro Central.
Really?
Yeah, at Central, and that was the good dirt. Yeah. No, Jerry's all right, man. Jerry's a good guy.
You were probably class president like every year, weren't you?
Student body president.
See, I figured it would be. I hated guys like that in school. You know what? So
I
you're
had a good time.
you were the first grade, second grade. You were class president every year.
No, class president every
Now
year.
you and Kent Coleman were y'all were in the same grade, right?
Yeah.
And a guy named Bert Nicholson, we all ran together.
Bert Nicholson.
But, since about the 7th grade.
Yeah.
And
well, y'all went to y'all had the same. Y'all went double date for prom or something. I thought you told me. You don't want to talk about it.
now we can talk about that.
I just read your body language.
on this stuff,
I
Mike.
read your body language. You gotta look down like, no, let's not talk about it. Is your wife listening?
She probably is.
Is she really?
People from church are.
Oh, are they? No, one thing that I appreciate. Well, you always got such a good nature about you. I mean, does anything ever get you down?
Well, yeah, there's times.
I mean, I don't. You've always had such a good attitude.
Well, the people that know me for a long time
Is it?
may not agree with you.
Okay.
But, I try to. Just
Yeah.
treat people like you want to be treated.
Amen to that. We need some of that today, don't we?
We do.
Man, we need some love in the house. My pastor talked about it today, didn't he, Jeremy?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he talked because I wrote a column, my Tennessee Ledger. I talked about I talked about Columbia, the country, and not that it's funny. I appreciated that. I think his name is Petro, the president. About 2 weeks ago, he was talking about really putting down President Trump, and all of a sudden now he's calling and being all nice and sweet. You know what I mean? But hey, I want to see peace in the world. I don't want to see problems in the world, but this world can use some peace.
Well, yes, it could.
I mean, well, one thing you appreciate, you like working for Smyrna, being a
It's
town
been one of
councilman.
the highlights of a long life.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to work for Bridgestone for a little over 40 years.
So y'all two work together? You and Roger?
The same company.
At the same company. I was at the end. I was at the headquarters down in Nashville, but I was only at the plant where Roger was at for 10 years, and then I went to McMimble as part of the startup team there, and was there 10 years. And I was at Nashville for about 20. But it was a good company for me. And then I retired. Wasn't planning on doing anything else, and then the council. I was doing planning commission for the town. Actually, I was on the planning commission you and I served together on planning commission there.
Did
for
we
a while.
really?
Yeah.
Did we?
Under Bob Spivey.
Did we really? How long were we together?
I wasn't on it long.
Okay.
When Bob took over.
When Bob took over, you came off?
I came off. I asked. I had a lot of things going on, and I just asked to resign.
Yeah.
And I was on it under Robert Mullins, and then under Bob. And
Bob was a hard charge, man.
And then Mary Esther.
When he appointed the planning committee, I didn't want to sit beside him.
Is that right?
I really didn't, because I sat where who sits on the far left of the mayor?
Well, I'm on one end, and Jerome's
I
on the
think
other end.
are you the very?
I'm on the very end on one end.
I wanted to be over there, and Bob said, well, I should say mayor. He said, Mike, come here. You sit right here, right beside me. I was like, oh, man, because I didn't want any undue pressure.
Yeah.
Because Bob couldn't whisper. Did you ever notice that?
Well, see,
like if he said something, everybody could hear it.
I was never in that chamber under Bob.
Oh, okay.
I was in that room in the back there when we used to meet back in the back room.
Yeah.
And then when they went out to chambers, I had already come off of planning.
Yeah.
But after that, I had the opportunity to go on council and was appointed.
Yeah.
And then was fortunate to get elected the next 2 terms.
Whose place did you take?
Lori North.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. One thing, I see a lot of the chaos in Nashville, just driving into Nashville and man, we're so blessed to live in Smyrna. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are.
I mean, we really are. I couldn't imagine going nowhere else.
Well, yeah, we got a great mayor, got a great council. I mean, that's just a great place to live. I mean,
It's a great place. It's a great place to work too.
Good place to work.
I love working for the town of Smyrna.
Good.
So he said good.
Yeah.
I feel safe. I do things,
I truly do think that. I grew up at the golf course playing there. I know Scott. I know Nathan. Robert. He's obviously retired, and then Hal. I don't know how, and then I left, and then he retired right after I left, and now I'm coming back. And Scott's the GM of the golf course, so I've got a lot of good history with the golf course. And
You sent me I like that picture you sent me.
I know.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I know. If y'all remember the really foggy morning we had last week, I was coming up, during Halloween, I always tell my ghost story, and I came up 11, I was like, I'm going to take a picture of that.
Hole 11 on the golf course.
Hole 11 on the golf course, where the grave of Mr. Wiley Sanders and Martha Hart, and then I forget his other wife's name. He was married twice.
Which is behind Sam Davis' home.
Yeah, it's right behind Sam Davis' home. You said it was Goochland at one point.
Yeah,
right?
Across
it
the
was.
street.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So coming up 11, I look, it's a foggy morning. Like when I had my encounter the other time, I said, I'm going to take a picture of that. Take a picture. Sent it to Mike, and I said, "No ghost this morning, Mike."
Yeah, it took me a second to understand what you're talking about because I think they say that when there's like fog, there's more likely to be some kind of paranormal presence.
Yeah, but it worked.
Look at the councilman looking at me like, what? But no, you seen it. You seen
Yeah,
something over
I've
there.
seen something. Yeah, but it's I said
And then
that.
Look at Jerry. And then Rogers heard somebody say his name, a man and a woman.
How'd they sound?
Oh yeah.
How'd they sound?
I know he played on the radio for about a year. I know.
I made
pull
a spoof video about it.
Mike, I do have an update on Charles Jones.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. How is he?
Yeah, he was going to be our speaker the other day at your chili cook-off, which I think we had. But through the course of the day, everything I think we counted between 250, 300 people. Your wife thinks it's more close to 300.
Yeah, a lot of people there.
Yeah, starting that morning at 7:30. So Jerry had actually come out to hear Mr. Jones speak, and he had an accident. And
Did he
anyway,
officially break his hip?
yeah, well, I reached out to Brenda Bryant. And
Okay.
This is a text she sent me here. Okay, she said, "Tell my oh no, it's a different one." This is somebody
Might
else.
wanna hear
Oh,
that one.
yeah, I better erase this one. Okay, okay. She said, "Here's an update from Charles's daughter." This is Charles' daughter. I saw him this AM, and he seemed really good before all the PT and OT. Lisa saw him late this afternoon. She said he was tired. He has 4 hours of rehab a day. They did a partial hip replacement Saturday.
Wow.
But what caused this, he fell Friday night, cut his arm, and cut his head, and also they cut his head, and he, like I said, cut his arm, and he broke his ball of his hip. But he is now telling his people stories. He's, you know how he tells stories. He's starting to tell. He's telling people stories. So
Good.
So that's a good sign right
Yeah.
there.
Well, you
And
know the background with Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He grew up in Old Jefferson.
Yep.
Here. Now he claims that his dad built their house out of the lumber that came from the original county courthouse. That's what he says.
Okay.
And he got it from
You know
was
which
it
house he lived in, Roger?
it was across from your granddaddy's, the Peyton Smith place. It was across there. He built a little house over in there. The
There was
lumber.
one right across the street from
Then there's
Granddad.
one that I know the Prestons used to live. Well, I say Prestons. It was Clyde Comer
Yep.
and he married let's say Clara Preston,
Okay.
and they lived in that house. But wasn't there another one in there, kind of closer to the river to the
Well,
left of that
there
house?
was one as you go across the bridge, which is on the same side as Granddaddy's place.
Yeah.
And
Now the Comers,
lived in
that was
the
my
back.
Aunt Dot's father-in-law. They're Ed Comer, they
Yes,
lived out
that's
there
right.
at the bridge.
Right.
Yes, but he said across from and that could have been the one the Prestons had.
It could be. I thought at the end Granddaddy owned that part of the property as well.
It could have
in
been
fact,
it. And I remember the house, little white house. But
Mm-hmm.
did your dad live there at one time?
Yes. In that
Okay.
house across the street.
Which was the Comer or Preston's? I'm gonna call it Preston's at one time.
Yeah. I thought him and Mom lived there early when right after they got
I had
married,
heard
I
that.
think.
I'd heard that, and yeah, and your like I said, I remember your dad real well, and you used to tell me a story about your dad. And I think his Truman was his Truman Short, and his name. Aren't you named after your dad?
I'm named after my grandmother,
Okay.
which is Grace Truman.
Okay.
In that house. Okay.
Okay.
That grandmother, and then I've got a grandson that also has the name Truman. So it skipped
Okay.
a generation, but
Okay.
three of us have Truman.
But your dad worked at Avico, correct?
That's correct.
And you told me his handprint was on the moon.
He told me, yes.
Is
Yeah,
that-
he
was
worked.
back
That,
in the
that was
day?
a story.
You told me that a long time ago.
That he worked on the instrument panel on
Mm-hmm.
the little lunar module that landed
Oh,
on
that's
the
cool.
moon. And,
Yeah.
and Dad,
That's
said,
cool,
Dad
yeah.
said my fingerprints
Yeah,
on the moon.
because Jerry told me a story. He said, "Guess what, my dad." I go, "What?"
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So he said.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I'm sure he got wiped off quite a few times before he left this earth. But
Yeah, little pledge on there and stuff.
Did your parents? Do you remember who they bought it from, or your dad bought it from?
you talking about it was my grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Yeah. No, I don't know who he.
So he had
got
been
it
there since.
somewhere. I think around the 20s. He's 20
Wow.
or 30s is when.
Did he buy it from the Keebles? Do you think?
I don't know. Wish my cousin was here. She could probably answer that.
Yeah.
But,
No, your cousin is
Joy Summer.
Joy.
Joy. Mhm.
Okay.
She spoke at your
That's
last
right.
year.
Yeah.
That's right.
But he had the place was about 120 acres, had 8 buildings on it. Had a smokehouse, had a barn, had a chicken coop, and it went from the lake or the river makes basically a shoehorn,
Yeah.
and he went from one side of the shoehorn to the other.
So when you
he
say
was on
if you're looking at the map and you see East Fork and you see West Fork, it backed up to the West Fork side.
West Fork is the one off Florence Road, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the one it backed up to. That's
Mike's
right.
more of an East Fork guy, but he don't know a lot. He don't know a lot about the West Fork.
Okay.
But
It's an inside joke. And it's not true, that's for sure. I got to get away from that. Now, I was a West Fork guy, put it that way.
But Granddad was negotiating the sale of that farm during the when the lake came, and actually he passed away of a bleeding ulcer
Oh, really?
during the negotiations of that, and so when they finally sold the place, my grandmother ended up building a house next to Mom and Dad, across from where I live up now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did. They couldn't figure out what it was, and then found out later it was a bleeding ulcer, and it was too late.
Wow. Well, we were over there, and I had the GPS, and it showed me where the Keeble Plantation was.
Mm-hmm.
And why this interests me so much, the people probably say the first black lawmaker was from the Keeble Plantation. He was born free, and then the Trail of Tears come through there. So there's so much history right there. Yeah. But we were at do you remember where the graveyard was, the Keeble graveyard?
I know where there's one that was in that in the yard, in the corner of the yard.
Okay.
And
did they move the grave?
Yeah. I'm sure,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we were out there.
I think they all went over
Mount
Mount
Juliet.
Juliet.
Well, the state, we had did you get to meet the guy with Tennessee Department of Environment Conservation?
I did.
That's the guy that does property acquisition, about a potential state park. I mean, I know it may be pie in the sky to look at, but, we've got to have a discussion. I know the state wants to put in a few more state parks, I think it's a perfect place. I think it's got a great, history, and I don't think you can find a better story than that across the state.
How do you think they would get into it?
Man, I don't know.
That's
they
what I
would
was
have to
wondering.
come to Buckeye Bottom,
That's what I
Central Valley.
figured too.
I thought about
Charles
that.
wants to do something.
Yeah, I thought about that. That's the most feasible way to come in. But a bridge, what would be $10 million at the minimum to go over right there? I was just looking up prices in case Mike wanted to donate the money for the bridge.
Well,
Are there any developments in that?
why this can matter is, Charles, you probably heard it say, I mean, he said this himself.
Yeah.
It's not me making it up. He said he'd put up $2 million to see it. And, he's 95 years old. And so that's why, when I wanted him to speak. I wanted the TDEC guy to hear him. The TDEC guy is very interested, but he said, man, I've got like 15 other potential state parks on my desk that people are lobbying for, that's advocating for. But I said, but you got one the Trail of Tears come through? You got one the first black lawmaker come through?
And, and the county seat from 1803 to 1811.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history there.
Civil War.
It'd be
I
a
mean,
great-
it is. To me, it's just such a cool story, and I just can't believe it really hasn't been told. Out there. That's, to me, it's just fascinating.
It is. And I don't think Roger and I, at least I'll speak for myself, not for Roger, but we didn't realize it back when we were kids, how much, but now as you get older and you start thinking about all that and how much you really wish then you would have looked at it even closer. And because I can't tell you the last time I was in my grandfather's house.
Yeah.
It had to be almost when my grandmother moved out of it, but I couldn't tell you when it was.
Yeah, we
So they
walked.
just
We
tore
would
it
walk.
down?
We would
tore
walk
down.
to Eads's. My granddaddy and us from Central Valley, and that old house. I didn't realize they still owned it. He whoever it was,
That's
he
right.
rented it to them. That old corner house, and my mom said that was Douglas' house in Old Jefferson. That's where my mom was born. But if you follow that road, that road went by the Pattersons, and the Kings, the King house down there where that. The King house was actually my great-great-granddaddy built that, 1850,
really?
the Creech Plantation. And like I said, it's just, but, it's just, like I said, but you don't know that back then,
There's just a lot of history there.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back for more really fascinating discussion by somebody who has lived there. Both y'all knew this area, and Colin, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Josh Moss with Affordable Heating and Cooling provides residential HVAC and duct cleaning services to the Middle Tennessee area. With more than 20 years of experience, Josh Moss and the AHC team provide 24/7 service and take care to ensure whatever work you need done is done in a professional, timely manner. Contact AHC at 615-745-1676. That's 615-745-1676. Or go to their website at affordableheatingandcoolingtn.com.
Most people know that their insurance can provide them with coverage for the many life's mishaps. But I can help you also unlock discounts, save money, and get benefits with Farmers Insurance policy perks. Whether we're discussing home or auto insurance, I am here to help you understand these great perks. Call me, Mark Lewis, at 615-625-7070 for a quote, and you can get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available at select Farmers branded policies underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate.
Want a flawless look without the wait? Step into the Vanity Zone in Smyrna, where upscale style meets everyday convenience. Specializing in precision cuts, color services, waxing, and more for men, women, and kids. All delivered by highly trained stylists with an eye for detail. And don't miss the signature hot towel refresher, the perfect finishing touch that leaves you feeling clean, relaxed, and ready for anything. Walk in or book now. The Vanity Zone in Smyrna. Looking your best is always in style.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
I just really appreciate Danny and his whole team. I always feel like I'm going to get great service and the right outcome.
You just don't find any better people.
He's always been very good.
We've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
My wife and I enjoy going by Yard Sale Inc. We usually go to both locations, the one in Smyrna as well as the one in Murfreesboro. A lot of times on Saturday mornings we stop by, and their inventory changes weekly, so you never know what you're going to see, and it's mostly open box. The name fits it. It's exactly that. It's a yard sale. If you don't totally agree with the price, the staff is always friendly and nice and willing to work with you.
That's the Yard Sale store in Smyrna at 111 Enon Springs Road West, in Murfreesboro at 204 South Front Street, and online at bestdealintown.com.
Hi, this is Allie Dowenhauer with Isaiah 117 House. Isaiah 117 House provides physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement here in Rutherford County. We are changing the way foster care begins, and those kiddos are brought to our house to hang out and wait for a foster family, and they're given everything they need. We support foster children, DCS, and foster families here in Rutherford County. Visit us at www.isaiah117house.com or visit our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House, Rutherford County.
AFFI is Middle Tennessee's premier choice for pest, wildlife, and moisture control. They specialize in those difficult and unique cases. You can reach them by phone at 615-300-2395. That's 615-300-2395. Or stop in at 200 Glenrose Lane in Smyrna.
All right, we're back. Conversation Mike Sparks talking with Councilman Jerry Short. I think we've got the Smyrna Mayor Marister Reed on the line. Mayor, how you doing?
I'm great. I hear we have a birthday boy in the house tonight.
Oh, no.
What I heard.
Hey, well, how come you hadn't called me?
Because I wanted to do it on air so everybody heard me.
Well, you know, I hear
happy
that's
birthday.
well. I hear that you called every every city employee of the town of Smyrna on their birthday.
I do.
Man, that's pretty cool.
Well, I will tell you, I started it when I became mayor, and it was a way for me to engage with the employees. But birthdays are pretty special in our family. But it was kind of funny. The first time I called one of them, and he was like, "This is not the mayor." I'm like, "Yes, it is." "No, it's not. Who's fooling me?" And he hung up on me. And so then he found out that it really was me, and he called back, and he was so embarrassed. But it's a great way to communicate and find out what they're thinking about or hearing more about their family. So, you know, over the past, 12 years,
Good for you.
I've gotten to talk to each one quite a bit.
I don't think Bob Spivey called people on their birthday. I don't think he ever did that. He never called
but
me.
You know what? I'm pretty sure. I think he sent birthday cards.
Oh,
I remember he got me a couple of fruitcakes at Christmas time. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
Did
always
you say
my
he
favorite.
called you a fruitcake?
He
or
bought
he
me.
got
No, he got. Well, we would go round and round. You know, we would disagree. I'll tell you one of the areas that I really picked up a lot of respect from. It's kind of a surreal moment. I remember I was sitting in the driveway at this rental house we used to have, and I was sitting across from Mr. Rake's house over there, and I really liked Tom Sage. You remember Tom?
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, Mayor, I disagree, with your, when they made everybody had to live within the sound city limits. I said, I just disagree with that. I don't think that's right. And he said, Mike, sometimes I just have to admit mistakes. And that was one I made a mistake on. And I was shocked. Like, that's like Donald Trump admitting he made a mistake, because Bob was a lot like Trump. But I remember him saying that, and he says, I just, look back, I shouldn't have done that. And I really, really liked that he did that. But my brother-in-law works with y'all, Michael Smith. He just left Nissan, and after like 30-year career at Nissan, and loves Smyrna. Jeremy here, our intern, loves Smyrna. And, a lot of folks that work
Mayor.
at Smyrna just
Jeremy.
love working there, But your family goes back to Old Jefferson, and you were our chili judge. You were going to come in and meet Mr. Charles Jones, and I've shared with you where he, he's told, Roger and I that he's willing to put up $2 million he just wants something done at Old Jefferson, I think, before he passes. And, the state Department of Parks, TDEC was out there, the property acquisition guy, and got to listen to that story. He was pretty intrigued by it. But I know Old Jefferson, those there mean a lot to you. Can you tell listeners why?
It does. That's where my dad's family grew up, out in Old Jefferson, and Daddy and his 4 brothers lived out there, right close to the church. And so Daddy has so many memories, and that's where the foundation of, his life started, right there at Old Jefferson. And, we're losing history daily.
Yes.
And I think if there is a way for us to preserve that, and I've had some discussion with our parks director, Mike Moss, and if we can figure out a way to work something out, then we would love to do that. But it is such a special place, being that it was the county seat at one time, and there's so many great memories from Old Jefferson.
Yeah, and your dad also had a great babysitter back in the day, didn't he?
He sure did have a great babysitter back in the day. Miss Glenna took care of him.
Yeah, and her and Rui, I remember, were really close. And, the house-wise, I remember one day, I'm going to tell a couple quick stories. There was a wooden picnic table out in front of their house, and EA had a sack of brown paper bag full of firecrackers. He had them broke down.
Mm-hmm.
And he was throwing them, and one of them went in the sack, and it blew the whole. And back then they were powerful. They were the Class C firecrackers. They ain't like now. And then it seemed like there was a shower head on that house on the outside.
Probably for Granddaddy to take a shower when he came in from work.
Yeah, because Rui showed my mom one day that shower head back there, and you're probably exactly right. And I can remember that, Rui showing my mom they had it turned on and all that, like that was I never seen anything like that. I took a bath.
But you know what? There's so many great stories that Daddy, and so many from Old Jefferson, that when they get together, they'll talk about and tell. And, just such a part of the Smyrna community.
And we had such great athletes come out there, too. I know, your dad was a, great baseball player.
Sonny Gray, yeah.
And, and then Jerry, of course, Jerry won't admit it. Jerry was on that team. I couldn't believe it because it was just 1st through 8th grade. And we'd go to the schools there, and these guys knew how to play ball. But I found out Jerry's key. He went down to the ball court every afternoon because he lived right beside there. And I can remember when it was gravel. They finally paved that. Do you remember when it was gravel, really? Jerry?
At Jefferson School.
Yeah, and then they paved it, but that's where Jerry got his edge. He put in the time. I always thought he was great. I mean, he'll look at me like, well, you beat the probably top team in the state on their floor. So
You're talking about he's being humble about it. Those
No,
are hours that he put into his game.
I
follow the man.
I was fortunate to play with some really good players.
Yeah.
And,
Well, don't cut yourself short.
George Miller was something else.
but you don't cut yourself short, man. I'd seen you play, and I remember seeing Sammy play for a little bitty school. I'm just telling you, it's a lot of good ball players come out of there. Randy Travis.
Terry, everybody was in the same building, but how were the classes divided up? Because it wasn't one teacher for each classroom.
You talking about at Jefferson?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Give their names too, Jerry. The teacher's
First
name.
of all, for the first 4 years, I had either my great aunt or my aunt was my teacher.
Wow.
So it was up until 5th grade was I finally got out of somebody that wasn't a relative that would tell mom and dad about everything I did. But the way it worked out, Mayor, was that first grade was Miss Ethel Short, and it was a single grade, and she taught just first grade. When we went to 2nd and 3rd grade, it was split up, and Miss Margaret Short, which was my aunt, and so I had her for 2nd and 3rd. And then in 3rd and 4th was also split, and that was Nell Summer, who was also my aunt. That was mom's sister. She lived there in Old Jefferson as well with mom. And then in the 6th and 7th grade was Miss Holland, and then 7th and 8th.
Was that Dot Hall? I mean, was that Donnie and then his mama?
Yes, it was. And her husband was the principal, and he had 7th and 8th. He passed away right the year before
1966.
Okay.
I went to the funeral.
Okay, the year before the school shut down. So when he passed away, they didn't fill his position and sent the 7th and 8th grade on to Smyrna a year ahead. And then the following year, I was in the 6th grade, and the following year I went to Thurman Francis and it shut down then.
Yeah.
And was there a wood burning stove in there? I think I remember Daddy saying he would have to go get the wood burning stove going in the morning.
If there was, I didn't see it when we were there, Roger. They had a gas heater that was tied into the ceiling, and the reason I know that is one day I was throwing paper airplanes and it got stuck up there, and I just knew Mr. Holland was going to let me have it, but fortunately he didn't.
We had the old coal house out there.
Had the coal house. Oh, and also I went walking back there about 3 or 4 years ago, and I found the concrete holes where the outhouse was too.
Oh.
It was right there in the back. I can show you that right now.
You didn't get lost out there?
No, that's only you, Mike. Only you.
Yeah. See, all that property
It's
was.
funny you talk about the outhouse. Daddy and them did not have indoor commode until he was a senior in high school, even though his daddy was a plumber.
Is that right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I remember your granddaddy coming in to our house and doing electrical work.
Yeah.
Well, I remember
But,
coming
back then, everybody just helped each other.
Well, I can remember up at Todd Lane, the baseball field was at nighttime playing. The lights went out. Here in a little bit, here come Mr. Lee, who got us some lights. You know what I'm saying?
In that green truck, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he sure did. He got us right back in business.
So, Mayor, let me ask you, that area, I think you and I were talking today, that is your all's urban growth plan? I mean, within that area, do y'all go out that far?
We do, and we've had, like I said, Mike and I have had lots of discussion about what we can do to preserve that, and maybe more of a passive kind of park, but also has historical markers. You know, that's one. I mean, we do with Sharp Springs, but just a really great way to preserve that area, but also tell the history. Because, I mean, as ones are passing away now, we're losing more and more of that history.
You know, we're able to get that, $250,000 grant for cemetery school. And speaking of the old desks are still there, the old African American school. The old stove's still there. And it's like a time capsule. But sadly, all those who, like Frank Caperton, he's since passed, Dr. George Smith since passed, Bo Washington, who I'm sure you knew, that was in education.
I taught school with her.
Yeah, Trailblazer. I didn't realize Vincent Windrow was on the air with us last week. I didn't realize that's like his aunt And
she raised him.
Yeah, she raised him, and he was at Smyrna Primary at first grade and kindergarten. He was telling me.
He came and sat down when he was talking about what they were trying to do there with the school, and he told me all of that story, and I had no idea of what a major tie he had to the town of Smyrna.
Well, I appreciate you, by the way. Someone really bragged on you. It's Ankit Patel that just started that Kumon Math and Learning. I appreciate you taking the time out to meet with him and his lovely wife. I didn't realize that David Gore used to own a Kumon franchise years ago until Jenny Williams knew about it. And so David was at the little, I guess, ribbon cutting. But appreciate you. I know you're passionate about education, so I know he was really thrilled to meet with you this week.
I am, but also passionate about small business. Small business is the backbone, and to see that young couple so excited, and it sounds like they're doing really well. I mean, good after-school care and tutoring is something every community needs, and so it sounds like they're meeting a need for parents and for young kids to get that extra bit of help that they might need after school.
Now, when did you start teaching? How old were you when you started teaching?
Oh, my God. Okay, so I came right out of MTSU, and that would have been in 92, and I started teaching at John Coleman under Leonard Zachary.
Oh, okay,
and then when, for a while, kindergarten went away from Smyrna Primary, and when Mr. Davenport brought kindergarten back, they had built another wing onto the school, and I left John Coleman and came over and taught for Mr. Davenport, and it was kind of, I had attended that school as a child, and then Mr. Davenport's daughter, Teresa, and I were friends, and we used to go over there on the weekends when Mr. Davenport was working, and back then, I don't know if y'all remember, the tables in the cafeteria folded up into the wall.
Yeah.
And they would fold those tables up into the wall, and Teresa and I would roller skate in there.
Oh, wow.
We thought we were a big deal getting to roller skate in there. So Smyrna Primary and John Coleman are near and dear, but I miss the kids.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily miss the extra stuff you had to do when you taught, but I sure miss the kids.
Yeah, I know you and Dr. McPhee and Liz McPhee are friends, and it's sad to see her pass away. We mentioned it earlier. You have any words on that?
They are such a part of the community. A lot of people didn't realize she was an educator in our school system, and but I will tell you, so I've been communicating some with Dr. McPhee, but I was talking to Joyce Taylor, who was a really good friend, and literally up to the day that she passed away, she was planning a fundraiser, and literally that day she was still working on it. A lot of people didn't realize how much that she gave back to the community in regards to helping nonprofits, and so many times if kids were here from other countries or weren't able to go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas, they would have those kids to their house and cook for them. But she will definitely be missed in our community.
Yes, we've seen a lot of loss. I mentioned this in the event of the day. I seen Gerald McCormick. I was at his funeral last month. He was our former leader at the Capitol. Then Jeff Burkhart passed away suddenly. I had just talked to him a few days earlier out of Clarksville. Then Rhonda Allen had passed. So it's just I guess just part of life. Like even like today being my birthday. I mean, I thought about my mom. It's just weird. Your mom's always like there. And
yep.
They're just when they leave you, it's a different world. You start looking at life a little different. But I always remember your grandfather. I know I've shared that story. I was like 27, and they went up on my taxes on a rental house up here on Iron Gate over by Haynes. We had a house over there, and I went up there and was just I don't know, not haggling, but just arguing that they shouldn't go up on my taxes, and he knew I was from Smyrna, and he said, son, come see me sometime. And I went by and knocked on that door on that side, and we got talking, and I, like I say, he says, young man, you need to run for county commissioner. You'd make a good county commissioner one day. And those words of encouragement always stuck with me. But you do a great job of trying to keep people together and move forward. What's your key to that?
I think it's mainly to treat people how I want to be treated. I mean, we all have so many more things that make us alike than different. And I think sometimes we focus so much on things that are different about us rather than what's alike. And, we're all in this together. And I think we've got to find ways to move forward. I can tell you, I don't agree with everybody all the time, but I really try to do the right thing for Smyrna. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about how to make our community a better.
Well, do you ever see the correlation between what grade did you teach? First grade? What grade?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten and elected officials today?
Yes. I want you to think about all the things you learned in kindergarten. You learned how to share. Yep. You learned how to get along. You learned how to follow rules. I mean, all of those things we learn at a young age, and they may just get to be bigger issues or bigger problems, but so many of the things we learn then, and I'll be honest, it helped me, when you would have an upset parent, I learned how to communicate with people, and so there's nothing more important to somebody than their child. And it's kind of the same thing when we're dealing with government, whether it's their house or their roads, their property, those sort of things. So I think teaching school really helped me. And trying to make 5-year-olds get along is kind of like trying to help elected officials get along.
Yeah, yes. I wrote a column about 2 years ago about the dysfunction I see many times in government, and I was talking about the Dale Carnegie program could be that bridge, to fill that gap. And I was in a class with Dr. Raj. He's literally a TikTok celebrity or influencer. And it was kind of odd because here we are, we voted to ban TikTok, and I'm in this guy's class. But we got along really good. And there was one little girl that was very outgoing. She's from Nepal. And I was asking the students where they got their news at. And they none of them watch. They don't watch 2, 4, 5, 17, none of that. And she tells me SpongeBob SquarePants, and I was like, "What?" The classroom starts laughing. These are 20, 22-year-old young people, and I guess TikTok or something has that on there. But she come up to me like a few days later, and the next after I wrote that column, and I said, "Man, what is your key? You're engaging, you're outgoing, you're talkative in the classroom." She tells me, this is what I call confirmation. Remember, I just wrote this column about the Dale Carnegie program. She said, I think it's because I went through the Dale Carnegie program. So I called Dr. Urban, the dean of the College of Business, and he was excited because he teaches it. We think they've had 6,500 students go through. But what was neat with this little girl, I was assuming she's Hindu because she's from Nepal, and then she tells me, she says, just want to let you know I'm studying Christianity, because I guess I talked about my faith in class, but in fact I wrote an article this morning before church about the dysfunction I see, and it's really worrisome when this country has so many problems. Now, do you ever get frustrated? Because I get frustrated. I mean, somebody was kidding me. The guy called me today. He says, "Man, I've heard you get upset in committee, and and I've dropped some profanity. God forgive me, because I get upset when I see people that don't seem to care about mental health. They don't care about suicide. They don't care about affordable housing, and I'm like, man, this stuff's getting serious. How do you kind of temper yourself? Because I know you care about these same issues."
I do. I focus on the things that I can try to make a difference about, and even though we feel like, what is it they say? Take a bite, one bite at a time.
An elephant,
and so we may not be able to solve the problem all at once, but chip away at it a little bit at a time. I mean, Jerry gets just as frustrated sometimes on the council and all.
I've never seen Jerry mad. Never.
Not mad, frustrated.
Okay.
But, I think we all are making a difference. It may not be something major every day, but hopefully each one of us are doing our part to make our communities, our county, our state a little bit better, to continue to build on the foundation of those that came before us.
You know, it reminds me, what you're saying is that serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because it is very frustrating. Yeah. But I am confident under your leadership, if you could partner with Charles Jones, especially if he's got out there $2 million, and hey, maybe name the trail after Marty Lupman. He'll step up and write you a check if you name it after him, or name the outhouse or something after him. But I really think something could move forward.
We're very interested. I do want to plug one other thing, and Jerry can talk a little bit when I get off here. We do have a Citizens Academy coming up. It is going to be the inaugural one. It is where individuals can put in an application, and it's to learn about city government in the town of Smyrna. And so each month is going to be a different topic. And or Jerry, is it each week?
It's each
no,
week.
It's month.
It's each week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Each week they can learn a new topic, and if you are interested in participating in the Citizens Academy, you can apply on our website or on our Facebook page for the new Citizens Academy.
I think you got our interns interested right now.
There you
go ahead.
Well,
Jeremy,
maybe.
Is it Jeremy? Jeremy would be great.
Yes, ma'am. It is. Two things before you come off of the call. One, going back on birthdays. I know you try to call everybody on their birthday. You have called me every birthday that I've had, and I have not picked up. I've always missed the call.
Oh my gosh!
The thing is,
do I need to text you first?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
But I always, every year, I was like, I'm gonna get Mayor Reed's call, and I don't get it. I miss it every time. And every time you when I read the voicemail translation, I was like, I can't believe I missed it again. So
well, maybe this year will be our year.
Yeah, this year I'm going to make a really good effort to pick up that phone call.
Perfect.
And another thing, the old Jefferson stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Would you? I did a stint with TDEC in 24. I worked for the state park system for about one season.
Uh-huh.
Would
What, are you trying to home your way in there? Wiggle your way in?
No. I heard earlier that she said she wanted to. She would like town of Smyrna to manage that. Is that something that you are interested in, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. I would. I would love to see us. I would love to see us take on that project. I know there'll be a lot of red tape in getting it done, but I think it's something that we're definitely up for the challenge.
You know,
I think
Mayor,
so too.
The Felicia and I, we go to Parkway Baptist over by Burger King, and the old bridge. That old bridge is still sitting there from, I don't even know what the name of that road would have been. Would that have been Amilville Road back in the day, Jerry?
I think it's still Amilville.
Amilville Road?
Oh, you're talking about the behind the church back there?
Tridon, like you're going to Tridon.
Yeah.
I think that's off of Amable.
I mean, I don't know if if something like that's even possible where that could be moved, but it just
it wouldn't fit across there.
This conversation.
Really?
Jerry, remember?
Yes, we did.
Oh, cool.
I mean, what, last week?
It was at the last meeting. Yeah.
Really?
It was. Yes. And they actually had, Mike Moss and them and Tom Rose had actually looked into that, and the cost to move it was going to be astronomical. Not saying we can't look into it again, but yes, we just had this conversation. That's ironic.
That would be cool. Well, and Charles Jones is also wanting to do. He calls it benevolent capitalism. He's wanting to do that housing development, where he would put up the money for workforce housing, teachers, firefighters, police officers. I mean, the concept's probably not been tried, but I told you he put the money up. He bought that rental house from us for Brenda Bryant. He bought it for $140 and appraised at $350. She closed out the deal last year. So Charles is a real deal. I mean, all that equity was hers. He owns the Milky Way Farm. He's never spent the night at the Milky Way Farm. And if folks don't know what the Milky Way Farm is, that was the Mars Candy Bar founders' a farm. I forgot how many acres.
3,400, I believe.
3,400.
17 buildings, something like that.
Yeah. But we'll try to get up a meeting for you. We'll tell Brett we said hello, and thank you so much for you coming out, and both y'all coming out and sacrificing your Saturday for our chili cook-off. And did you have fun doing that?
I had a great time, and my husband was so excited once we got home after I tasted all that chili.
Did he?
Well, now see, I lost train of thought now. But, we had a guy, we had a little incident out there, and anyways, I love to see
that he fell out. Are you talking about the gentleman that fell?
Well, yeah, but I loved it that and I'm not trying to get involved in the sheriff race, but I think it's Trey Mansfield. He ran out to help the gentleman. Kenneth Barrett's wife ran out to help the gentleman. Sean Faresh, the Trump impersonator, ran in and grabbed a chair. So, that was a surreal moment where you seen people just come together to help this elderly man. It was funny because I think it was Trey said, what's the day? Let's see if he's okay. He goes, it's Mike Sparks' birthday. And I thought, is he just laughing? Or maybe he hit his head, he's out, but it was, like a little week early. But anyways, it meant a lot for me.
But you know what, Mike? I would not expect any different from people in Rutherford County than to do exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They put their differences aside when somebody's in need.
Yes. Well, we sure appreciate, and it was probably our best event ever, and it made a difference with you and Brett being out there, and David Settles even showed up. We had a lot of folks. At my Kurdish buddies, my Hindu buddies were out there, and my interns came, and we just had a great time with it. Well, thank you so much, Mayor. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, you
Mayor,
guys.
thank you so much. And
Mayor, it's good to talk to you.
And you do such a great
too.
job. The council does too, and it's the greatest place to live, town of Smyrna.
Hey, I agree. Y'all have a good night.
Thank
See
you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Take care.
All right.
Councilman Short, we got 2 minutes left. What do you got to say for yourself?
I appreciate you letting us come in to talk a little bit about Jefferson and about the school.
What do you think about Jefferson Pike being widened, by the way? It's good. I heard the cops were out there a lot yesterday.
They are, and I think there was some things going on over in Wilson County that they were trying to make sure.
Did they finally get the speed limit taken care of?
They did, and
what is it now?
I know some people would like to see it a little bit faster. I personally am glad it's where it's at. It's I said when that road came, I said it's not the best thing for me because of where I live at and all the traffic. Yeah. But I always said when I went in office, I would support what was best for Smyrna. Yeah. And widening that road was best for Smyrna.
Yeah. Oh, man. It should have been done. Well, I was at TDOT here about a month ago. I said, that project should have been bonded years ago. They don't like to bond, but I brought up bonding. The costs have escalated so much. I think by bonding some of these projects that are ECD related, that are so dangerous, like Jefferson Pike, that we need to rethink our strategy.
Yeah, but I think I told you, Mike, before, that road was dangerous, and it's dangerous.
Well, that fatality happened in front of your house.
And it's dangerous on the other side that hadn't been widened yet.
Yeah, we got to do that.
It's just as dangerous over there.
It's expensive.
So it is expensive.
Yeah.
But Smyrna is glad to have that. It's a good gateway into the town.
Yep. Well, thank you. Thank you, Councilman Short. Thank you, Jeremy.
And
thank you,
Mid-10 Hot Rodder said, wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Mike Morton, and Danny Judd and others for the great turnout last week. Y'all have a good one. See you next week.